Dude, this is a crash course in Typhoon Lagoon, one of Disney's 2 water parks. This is 4. We're about to hang 10. It's got kind of a surfing vibe. Anyway, in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna explain everything you need to know about Typhoon Lagoon so that if you're headed there, you don't miss a single thing. Typhoon Lagoon is the older of Disney World's 2 water parks. It opened on June 1st, 1989. The park is themed around a pristine tropical paradise with lots of tropical vibes and like beaches. Very classic water park theme, with a twist. This paradise was struck by a typhoon, hence the name, and that brought all sorts of stuff from the ocean into the tropical paradise. Ships, surfboards, fishing gear have all been strewn about, including the park's ultimate icon, a shrimp boat named Miss Tilly, which was flung clean to the top of Mount Mayday. It's a fun theme and a fun water park with a lot to do, and we're gonna take you through every single thing there is to do, along with some of our tips and recommendations for your day at Typhoon Lagoon. The park has a simple circular layout centered around its star attraction, a massive surf pool, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the entire world. The slides and attractions are located around the outer edge of the circle. Let's do a quick run through. Crush and Gusher is a certified must-do. This is Disney's first ever water coaster that uses high-powered water jets to propel you uphill during the slide. You can choose between 3 different fruit-themed tracks. Next up, we have Misadventure Falls. This is a family raft ride that even has its own animatronic, a parrot named Duncan, who will remind you to wear sunscreen, which you should do. And there's a conveyor belt that will pull your raft right up the hill, so no carrying tubes on this one. Absolute must-do for families. If you're looking for thrills, you should look no further than Humunga Cowabunga. And you should also say the word Humunga Cowabunga because it's fun. This is the park's biggest thrill. It is 3 enclosed body slides that drop you 5 stories through the dark where you'll reach speeds of up to 39 miles per hour. Just next door, if you love the body slides, we've got Storm Slides, Jib Jammer, Stern Burner, and Rudder Buster. And they wind through waterfalls and rocks. If you're a tube slider, I'm a tube slider. I don't like a body slide. Get me in a tube. You're gonna wanna head to Mayday Falls and Keel Haul Falls. These are single-person inner tube slides where Keel Haul is a little smoother and Mayday is a little more intense. Gangplank Falls is one of the most popular in the park, a classic 4-person family raft ride that has you rocketing down the mountain. And while those are the slides, those aren't the only attractions Typhoon Lagoon has to offer. And the star is actually not even a slide, which is sort of rare for a water park. Not the star, but one that I personally love is the Mountain Trail. This is a lush, highly themed 5-minute walking trail that gives you beautiful views and photo spots of the entire park and Typhoon Tilly. Now warning, the pavement here does get very hot in the Florida sun, so I would wear the water shoes or your regular shoes when walking this one. But the star of Typhoon Lagoon is Typhoon Lagoon's surf pool slash wave pool. This is not a gentle wave pool. Don't expect gentle bobbing waves like Blizzard Beach. If you're in this wave pool, it's going down. There are actually periods of time, 30-minute periods, where they just do bobbing waves in the wave pool if you've got littles or just want to enjoy the wave pool without the stress of when the waves come. But I think a lot of folks are there for that. These are massive swells that shoot out with this insanely loud noise. Everybody screams, the swells come towards you. The more daring folks get in real deep and try to body surf the waves, and you can kind of, the shallower you are, the safer you are. But if you want some thrill, you can get a little deep, and these waves will rock your world. Be aware of your surroundings in this wave pool because you will bump into the folks around you when those waves knock you off your feet. And even those who aren't as strong swimmers can experience the wave pool. There are life jackets for their use. There's just a cutoff where you cannot go any deeper in the wave pool if you have a life jacket on. If that seems a little too high speed, high thrill for you, you can check out Castaway Creek, which is the lazy river. Who doesn't love it? This is a 2,100-foot lazy river around the entire park. It features scenic bridges, misty grottos, and cool overhead waterfalls to drift under. Of course, this is a must-do. I just like to use it as a mode of transportation. If you've got little ones, Ketchikan Creek is where you're going to want to camp out. This is a water play area specifically designed for children 48 inches and under. You'll see small slides, water jets, and sand pits. And finally, I lied, there's actually a bonus slide, bay slides. These are little slides on the edge of the wave pool that are designed for children 60 inches and under. Now let's talk about the food. Water park food can be hit or miss. And so I've got the tips to make sure you don't find yourself suffering over a very mediocre chicken sandwich. There are 10 food and beverage locations scattered around the park. Now, if you haven't been to the water parks in a while, you might remember they used to have refillable water park mugs. Those unfortunately are gone, but some of the locations at least have mobile order, so you can use those to save some time if you have the My Disney Experience app. The main dining location is called Leaning Palms. It is located to the left of the entrance and is the main quick service spot with the largest menu. Think burgers, chicken, pizza, big time classics on this menu. Typhoon Tilly's is located near Humunga Cowabunga and is my personal favorite spot to grab lunch at Typhoon Lagoon. This spot's gonna have fish and chicken. It used to have incredible pulled pork, but they got rid of it, I think because they hate me personally. But they do have fun fish platters and different items. I miss the pulled pork. They had pulled pork nachos. Y'all. Low Tide Lou's is located on the backside of the park near Ketchikiddee Creek. This one is good for grab and go options. They've got like sandwiches, wraps, salads, and then some classics like Mickey pretzels and popcorn. If you're craving a hot dog, which this is funny, I was just at Typhoon Lagoon and I heard multiple people during the day asking where they could find a hot dog. So hot dogs are water park food. You'll want to head to Surf Doggies located near the wave pool. Of course, I think for some of our grown-ups, water parks are a good time to have a couple libations. Let's Go Slurpin' is the main bar by the wave pool, and it is a full bar with a pretty great vibe, great bartenders. Expect signature cocktails, beer, kind of anything you want. Another bar, which is my favorite, is called High and Dry. It's located near the front entrance and it has actual like seating and a little more going on. This one is famous for specialty rum options. They do really good frozen drinks as well. But at all the different bars, you're gonna find a pretty similar menu. This one, I think usually is the one that has the most standouts. Happy Landings Ice Cream is located next to Leaning Palms and is, you guessed it, the home of the ice cream at this park. And yes, they do have the famous Sand Pail Sundae. Snack Shack is attached to Typhoon Tilly's and is the Dole Whip spot. This is where I recommend getting your frozen treat if you're a Dole Whip fan. They usually have Dole Whip flavors that are hard to find, if not impossible to find, around the rest of Disney World. Like right now they have watermelon. And they do fun Dole Whip sundaes and spiked Dole Whip options. If you need a caffeine kick, Joffrey's Coffee is located by the wave pool, and close to the front entrance you can find donuts, the mini donuts, the famous mini donuts. These are, you guessed it, little donut holes. You can only get these at the Disney World water parks, and they are fantastic, so kind of a must-do. And if you need a different fried food option, you can head to the funnel cake cart for another iconic, classic summertime theme park treat. Let's talk about the pros and cons to be aware of when you're headed to Typhoon Lagoon. Now, of course, remember through September 2026, if you're a Disney World Resort guest, you get free access to the water park of your choice on your check-in day. That means no ticket, you can just go Typhoon Lagoon it up. And for the first time in a long time, both Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are open at the same time, so you get to pick. We do have a full guide to Blizzard Beach on the channel now. We also have perfect days for both of the water parks if you want a more in-depth comparison. And we have a video comparing them, so we've got you covered. The pros of Typhoon Lagoon: home to one of the best wave pools in the world. Lush tropical landscaping and plenty of shade make it feel like a wonderful Caribbean getaway. It has Crush and Gusher, a highly unique water slide that gives you some thrill and a lot of fun. And of course, this is a little bit new, but towels and life jackets are complimentary for all guests. Cons to Typhoon Lagoon: there's no lining lanes. If the lines are long, they're long. I was there, however, on 4th of July weekend. You can see my video on the channel where I showed just what happens when you try to go to a water park on maybe the busiest water park weekend of the whole year. And I still didn't wait in any lines that were too bad, but there were certainly lines. The wave pool can also be a little over intense. Speaking from experience, I usually let about 2 waves hit me and then say, that was good enough. The weather can of course be unpredictable, and when inclement weather hits the water parks, which there's inclement weather pretty much every day in the afternoon in Florida summers, it means that pretty much everything closes down. You can't get in the pool, you can't get on the slides. And if you're using Disney bus transportation to get around, you will often have to transfer at Disney Springs, which means taking a bus to Disney Springs and then waiting on the bus for Typhoon Lagoon to transfer on the bus to Typhoon Lagoon. Now, like I mentioned, this is a quick overview and a crash course. I hope it was helpful to you, but if you need more detail, we have you covered as well with a full guide to the best day at Typhoon Lagoon, as well as a complete tour of Typhoon Lagoon. Anything you need, search Typhoon Lagoon on our channel and you can learn everything you need to know. Also, if you're comparing with Blizzard Beach, we've got that too. If you're still here, like this video and drop this secret code in the comments so we know you made it all the way. Plus, don't forget to subscribe. We upload tips, games, challenges, and more from Disney World and beyond all week, because we are serious about fun. Now, I'm gonna crush out. Thin, noggin, dude.